Hello everyone, welcome back to Fablehaven Age of Wonders. For today, Lord Admiral Jaina Proudmoore, the daughter of the sea, is going to attempt to take out the forces of Saruman of many colors. Last time he crossed the line, not only by forcing me to declare war by being rude, but by claiming the bones of Jonas the Strong. So, we're going to murk him. Now, he does have some forces that are retreating, hopefully, I'm assuming, to reinforce Draktur, and he'll get there in time, but that's fine, we can deal with it. Now, before we end the turn, I noticed in the Rally of the Lieges, the modded units are actually here, and my Vassal is being actually useful. The Armored Pikeman is here, and of course, Bakchi is Kul Tiras, and we are the keeper of the Kul Tiran faction, meaning we can just grab these guys. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. This is, of course, for our new champion, Laduina Holder, who will take the place of Jonas the Strong as our first hero. She'll never be Jonas the Strong, of course, but she will take his place and do her best, I'm sure. She's pretty much going to defend Borealis while Jaina leads the assault force against Saruman. And I'm just spawning in more Phantasm Warriors. We'll see if they live up to themselves, you know? Live up to their warrior name. But first things first, Artisan Armaments. This just gives a flat 30% crit hit chance. And I was amazed this wasn't nerfed. The only capacity in which it was nerfed is it no longer affects range units. Not skirmisher units, of course, like our Ice Elemental boys, but the pure ranged units. I expected this to be reduced, to be honest. Maybe it should have been. Who knows? Who knows? Shall we get Artisan Fortification? I don't really want Iron Golems, to be honest. I'm not feeling the Iron Golems. What if we grab hold of the line just to push the research through, you know? Get it cracking. Saruman of many colors has returned, and we have received a trade proposal. Saruman would like peace. Nope. Alright, moving on. I am pleased to see we share a friend in Kael'thas Sunstrider. Together, we shall prevail. I thought these two had beef. Did they not? I thought they didn't like each other. I'm pretty sure they competed for Jaina's love, affection, and eternal attention. You know, then Kael'thas kind of got busy with the whole, we're leaving the Alliance and doing our own thing. Yeah, he got a little distracted with the whole future of his people. I know, right? How dare you be a prince and not a simp? Of course, the whole future of his people was going to Outland and tapping into infernal nether powers and damning half your race. In hindsight, not great. My claimed province has been captured. Oh no, whatever shall I do? Yes, Blintz. Keep building that justification, and one day you too will be bought by Lady Jaina. One day. Siege magic? Support units. This would be our bannermen, right? Yeah. We aren't really going to have battle mages? I don't think. Probably? Yeah, whatever, we'll take it anyway. Theramore can annex, and so it shall. Research? Shall we do research? There's one farm on this map, and it's right there. Yeah, we'll do some research. Oh, I didn't clear these. Okay, our new army can do that. We're building up the stonemason, and then we'll probably get palisade walls. Because, at this point, someone can just walk onto Theramore and take it, and that is a no-no. In fact, I'm going to queue that up so I don't forget, because I will. Now, we need a Focus Crystal, Astral Dew, or Haste Berries. I got kind of distracted by this whole war thing. Couldn't possibly imagine why. But it is still one of our priorities to finish off the Imperial Essence. I'm not going to summon any more units because our mana is getting low. Mines grant plus 10 mana. That would help. But instead, Advanced Logistics. Road cost 3 movement points instead of 5. And units gain fast embark, and while embarked, they gain very fast movement. We also, of course, need to road build on top of that. Yes, good. Let it be known that Garrosh Hellscream has crossed me. Garrosh has insulted my empire. He is not to be trusted. Damn straight, Arthas. He is not to be trusted. He is never to be trusted. Garrosh Hellscream will be probably our next enemy, to be honest. I foresee... I mean, of course, we're fighting Saruman right now, right? But I foresee going to war with Garrosh and probably Blint. And right now, Kael'thas is not overly keen with us, despite the fact that I have declared friendship. He has not declared friendship with me, and he calls me crude. That's very rude of you. Let us see what units we have from this mod. We have the Knight and the Longbowman. Ooh. A tier 3 archer. Don't mind if I do. What do you do that's special? Why do you exist? Damage. I mean, that's a good enough reason for me. And then the Knight, thanks to this mod, the Knight can actually evolve into the Banneret Knight. So we're going to want quite a few of these boys. And level them up and see what the new boys do. So I say, what a fine cup of tea. No, I don't say that. Let us expand. Ooh, nice, I can grab this now. Beautiful. More research, of course, and if per quarry in our domain we get... Oh, fortification health. Oh, this was mana. Is it a different one? That might be a different one. But anyway, what we want to do now is we want... Yeah, whatever. We want to get as many fisheries and water nodes as possible. Unfortunately, there don't appear to be too many water node bonuses going about. Unfortunately. I think you're waiting as well, little army. Little army. Let us get the academy. I want this as well. Do I want this first? I do. Get that Imperium rolling. Spells ready to cast. We're not going to cast any yet. New Empire skill is available. The Astral Inspiration. Ooh, I do want that. The Rite of Abundance. The Court of Whispers. And the Rite of the Cryptblade. Okay, so we want this one and we want this one. Which one's more important? Probably this. We can get one of them next turn. Let's take a look at our free city situation. Okay, we're leaving some of this to Arthas. Just let him take it, it's fine. It is fine. I'd prefer to have Solemnia, Mr. Arthas. But, we'll see. We'll just grab another stone. Hello. I have been pondering the many allies and enemies I have in this realm. I am glad that you seem to be one of the former. Let us try to bring our empires closer. Arthas Menethel would like a full-blown alliance. Shall we form the alliance? Let's do it. Let's form the alliance. You and me, Arthas. Together, we shall rule the galaxy. Wait a minute. By the way, it was confirmed the Ring of Escape is not a modded item. The mod maker himself confirmed it, so thank you very much. But the Ring of Escape, I think this was added in with Dragonstone because the Slitherers have slip away, right? So it makes sense. But you do have a mirror shield. Oh, and a face cloak. A big fan. How much would you sell this for? This used to be like 40 gold. Used to be. Once upon a time. Okay. Good to know. Thank you, Arthas. Together the alliance will be strong. What are you going to do about the city, though, Arthas? Because, like... Where are you expanding? I mean, there's a nice little spot over here, I guess. Can diggy that, which they probably won't. Are you going to expand upwards? Ah, look at that. He grabbed the wonder. I see what you're doing with this. You receive a message from the Witch of the Wilds, Morrigan, the Inheritor, sent through the far currents of the Astral Sea. Lady... I want to keep saying Lady because that was her original title. She was Lady Jaina for like 17 years, and then she became Lord Admiral. Lord Admiral Jaina Proudmoore, I received word about your campaign in this realm. I am impressed by your efforts and hereby formally offer my aid. Allow me to fight as your heroine. Together, we shall claim this realm and shall all guardian the power of our pantheon. The Witch of the Wilds offers her aid as a heroine under your command in this realm. Do you accept? You're bloody right, I accept. Of course I accept. I will never say no to Morrigan. The game says I can't have her assistance, but it's lying. Morrigan. That does give us additional penalties for upkeep. Additional 5 Imperium and plus 30. But she's worth it. Morrigan's always worth it.
You are a tease.
Morrigan. Now, of course, Morrigan is a support character. And unfortunately, I don't have a good item because I sold all my stuff. But it's not like we had great things for her anyway. So we'll grab Stand Together and Strength Training. Fantastic. Does Strength Training affect heroes? All non-hero. Okay, they were pretty clear about that, huh? That's fine. Alrighty. Welcome, Morrigan. I didn't expect to see you. It's turn 50 and she showed up. I wonder if that's scripted. A turn 50 thing. Anyway, we have reached the next tier of magic. And we are going to get... Ooh. So, Jaina. I believe we do need to pick up one Astral Tome before we can get a tier 4 Astral Tome. And I do want the Tome of the Cold Dark, but I think first we're going to get the Tome of Teleportation. Jaina often teleports people to safety. It's usually used as a plot point. Don't get it twisted. It is a plot mechanism. But the fact that she can do it so on demand and so thoroughly, with such efficiency, demands a Tome of Teleportation.
The mage who fully utilizes the potential of magic to expand their tactical options on the field of battle. That is a cunning mage. Imagine a hapless commander, all prepared for an oncoming assault, only to suddenly find themselves facing a pincer attack. The art of teleportation provides endless possibilities for the truly creative tactician.
The truly creative. Now, I personally think that the Tome of Teleportation is kind of just okay. I don't think it's overly impressive. The Phase Beast is pretty cool, but I don't think it's great unless you're doing beast synergies, which we are currently not. But Mass Recall is exceptionally useful. I used this in the, was it the Eratus playthrough where we used this a lot? Just to move around the map, so we will start getting that. And of course, we have opened up the first of many steps of the Magic Victory condition. Speaking of, what is the Magic Victory? It's one of these buttons. This one? Yeah. How many do we need? 2 Ancient Wonders. Hold up. Hold up. In the Blint playthrough, it was a very large map with 9 players. And I needed 4. Or was it 5? It was a lot. This is a large map with 8 players, and I need 2. Okay. Alright. I told this is why we need a palisade. Oh. Alright. Morrigan. Let's go. Let us march. Using, of course, build roads. I hope I can get there in time. I was falsely denounced by Kael'thas. Bruh. We're gonna have to end our declaration, I think. Negotiations have succeeded to the pact of loyalty. I was insulted. Okay. I don't know why do you want me to declare war on you, Blint? Because I will. I will declare war on you. I'll do it. I am going to... I'm going to end my friendship with him. Is falsely denouncing others. Let's go. I'm going to see if I can get Arthas to break off with him. And I was going to get this. This gives us another stone. We have all 4 now. Arthas has not increased his allegiance at all here. So what if we... Swiggity swooty. I could also give it to Dondale and sap some resources from Nathaniel. We'll have to think about that for later. Let's get Solemnity on our side and see if that works. It will upset Arthas, of course, and, you know, feel bad about that. But, Arthas and Jaina didn't always see eye to eye, of course. So it's appropriate. I'm sure even as they were sweethearts. And couples rarely see eye to eye all the time, right? Alright, I don't know what I'm going to do about Theramore. You recognize your transgression. I hope there is no bad blood between us. I wonder. I wonder. He fabricated, I see. So what I would have to do... I could end my declaration and then fabricate. You know what, let's do that. I am disappointed to learn you are not willing to commit to your promise of friendship, Jaina. Yeah. Me too. Look how much money that gave me, though. Holy crap. Alright. Into the water we go. Theramore. We ride. New Empire skills available. Career soldiers. I'm going to want this. This will include our knights, our shields, and our polearms. And we can instantly gain allegiance. We might do that as well, I think. Or we'll try to anyway. Coast and river provinces grant +2 food. This could be amazing considering we're like entirely coasts. Everything is a coast. Saruman has returned. Haven't we got that notification like 3 times? Arthas has begun negotiating with Sorcerer's Solace, which, no big deal. A treaty has been broken with Kalecgos. What? Oh, I've been denounced and he's mad about that. And he broke my alliance. Alright. I might have to punch Kalecgos. Unlike in Jaina's story, where Kalecgos convinced her to pursue peace. We're gonna have to fight. A free city can now be integrated. Indeed, it can. Fangvale, which I was actually thinking about this. This is not a bad city. It is 430 Imperium to integrate, which kind of blows. But it's pretty built up. It's got a Tranquility Pool, a Demon Gate, which we can switch for an Astral Gate if we want to. Good fishery build-up. You might be able to go underground. This might be my city. This might be what we're doing. We might do this. Are you Dark Culture? I imagine you are. Barbarian. Huh. Okay, I don't have an excuse for that. I was trying to think. I mean, Jaina was always for cooperation. But, I don't know about that one. Hello, Saruman. Thank you. Oh, you canceled my stonemason. Well, let's start with palisade walls this time. So they can't just walk onto my city. Be great. And then we'll go into stonemasons for the production. And now, I guess, we can come clear this stuff out. Let it be known that Blint the Underdelver has crossed me. You don't say, Nathaniel. Okay. Arthas has crossed you. Don't care. Breach has been made. We attack. And of course, I have to fight this manually because Saruman is here. The question is, do I take the city? Or do I don't have Tremor Ritual. Do I take the city, or do I just vassalize it? In the previous playthrough, we vassalized, honestly, in a lot of my playthroughs, we would vassalize the... Ooh. Yes, the Reaper Bolt Throwers. I forgot about this. I don't know how, but I did. I would vassalize my fallen opponents because I just didn't want to deal with it. You know? Boop. Frozen. A double. You can freeze on the Amp Arrow Ricochet. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's pretty good, yeah. Now, of course, I'm being aggressive here, which is making it quite considerably difficult to properly use my bannerman, but another double freeze. Ah, oh, say it isn't so. Ice elementals for the win. Didn't freeze that one, though. But I did slow it, and you know what that means. I could spur. Do we spur? We spur. Spur. Beat the shit out of that. That one? Eh, that one's gonna die. Oh, this is a special unit. That's right. This is one of the modded ones. The Shadow Legionnaire. You have the Leeching God. If an attacker is weakened, this unit gains 2 defense, 2 resistance, and the attacker also takes 4 physical. That's probably really good for players. Like a player-controlled Dark Faction. Because, of course, oh, I have, like, frozen his entire army. Feels good. Players are pretty good at controlling all that. Most of the time. Would you like to be condemned? To death? Well. I guess one of us will attempt to... One of the bannermans will attempt to bannerman. Properly. Now, of course, grouping up like this has made this, or given that, a prime target, but... who cares? Alrighty. Do your worst, Saruman. Oh, hey, you removed your own frozen. Proud of you. Now, would you like the good news? The bad news. Boop. Would you like to be frozen again? Want to see me do it again? I can even manually freeze something like you. And you know what? I can do it again. Market attack. Or do some dark explosion shit. That's not a whole lot of damage, is it? There we go. We'll do this. The Mark of the Zeal. Of Zealotry or whatever. I really want to teleport in. I do. Didn't even hit me back. You know why? Because he was slowed. And slows don't retaliate! You knew it was coming. You knew I had to say it. I'm going to bleed a little bit here, but that's fine. And here, whoa, well. I'm in melee now, congratulations. I'll just go here and defend and stand together in solidarity of my foolishness. Please attack. Thank you. %, through the wall. Beautiful. Unfortunately, I don't have the momentum from Blintz. That's okay. That's alright. No chaos this time. Ooh. A good teleport. You froze Jaina Proudmoore. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. Jaina's the one who freezes. Like the one who knocks, but with ice. Okay. Goodbye, Saruman. When did Saruman the Wise abandon reason for madness? Apparently, very recently. Look, you were slow. Do you know what that means? No counterattack for you. Unfortunately. Can't quite... Ah, there we go. The enemy flees the field. I'm just gonna kill him. I could have let them flee. After all, where are they gonna flee to? Their capital belongs to me. You have crumbled the last defenses of Saruman of many colors and cast him into the astral void, banishing him from this realm. Whatever schemes Saruman of many colors had in the works, none of them shall come to fruition. The last of his misguided troops flee to hide in the hills and woods. His Urukai, their spirits crushed by their false idol's yoke, now find themselves at your mercy. O glorious Lord Admiral, whatever the future holds, Saruman of many colors is a thorn in your side. No more. How will you commemorate this extraordinary victory? So we got 65 Imperium. Unfortunately, I am too broke to hold a parade, which is my go-to because, you know, I love Imperium. We could do a little bit of an evil act and extract some knowledge. Or... I don't actually know if Jaina would do this. I guess it depends on which version of Jaina we're talking about. But I did say Jaina is technically a good character. So let us guide Saruman of many colors to Magehaven to be judged for his crimes against Kul Tiras. Now the question is, what do I do with this? Do I vassalize it? It does have a wonder. I'm tempted to vassalize this. I think I'm going to. I could, of course, also migrate it. That's an evil act, right? Yeah. I'll just vassalize it. It's fine. All shall yield. Yield and kneel to the might of Kul Tiras. I think what I want to do... Saruman has been felled. Actually, well, we'll have you turn around. Next turn, of course. Jaina will turn around. These two will kind of guard this place. And then we'll go bop this quest and get our haste berries. Which is not there. Where are our haste berries? There they are. But also bop Cragmar. I believe Saruman took the city, and so now it's just a neutral city. But I'm still at war with them, so... You know, it is what it is. Borealis could absorb this, actually. Borealas. Let's go Morrigan. Easy? Relatively easy, okay. possibly easy. Ooh. You got whacked. You're not supposed to get whacked. Spears are coming. Oh lord, they're coming. Start the heal. Can you reach this? No. So, Morrigan... Oh, I should summon an elemental. I forgot the archer could do that. Morrigan has sap strength from the druid staff. So she can actually do this from pretty far away. She also is a wizard king, meaning that she could overchannel to cast another spell if we deem it necessary. So far, don't believe it is. We can stand here to give stand together. And then we bonk real good. Okay. And next turn, we clean it up. Hopefully. I'll say. The stone elementals are so good. Jaina could probably get away with cast or using them, right? Conceivably. Probably. Oh. Kill you. I could static shield this guy, but I'm actually going to static shield this one because it's a real unit. Okay. Our brave champion. Ah, you're going to blight resist. That's annoying. You do some 70%ers or some 90s. We'll do some 70s. You'll love to see it. 1, 2, 3. You know why he didn't counterattack? Was he slowed? I think he was slowed. Static shield. We got a stun. Our first stun from the static shield. You'll love to see it. This was clean. Easy GG. The bounce, by the way, is coming from the Thunderbow, from the lovely mod we are using, the Wondrous Item Pact, which I don't think I would play without, honestly. More items are more good, you know? And they're not like wildly overpowered items either, from what I can tell. So, I think that could be a permanent addition to our shenanigans. You're gonna chill there. I guess you can follow along. You guys can float and all that. A knight has joined our roster. We can actually create the... Oh, it's gonna take a while, though. 7 turns. Yeah, we can make chrono gates now. So we technically don't have to get the teleporter infrastructure until later. Spells can be cast on the first turn of combat. That's not bad. I might pop this now. Is this a now thing? No, we want Astral Inspiration first. That research is muy importante. Oh, Advanced Expedition. Oh, it's so attractive. It's muy importante, and it hit the wrong thing. Let's just get this out of the way. The Astral Trade Relay. Ooh, nice. Oh, I want this. No, I don't. Yes, I do. Phase is really strong, but I don't think it's that important for our current composition. We're not really using battle mages, and we have just a few support units. I think it's more important we get the Astral Trade Relay. This is just a flat gold increase. The building itself provides 10 gold income, and it will also give +3 gold income for each Astral Trade Relay built in your empire, which should be built in every city. So let's grab that. Theramore can annex yet again. And you better believe... let's get a farm just to get boosts going. But we will, of course, convert that later. I think this would be a pretty decent Nope. The research guild, you need to have 4 research posts, right? And I'd only have 3. No, that's fine. I can make it a mages guild, I suppose. I guess that's the play. Yeah. We can go over here as well. Once expansions are on the way. The wall's coming in, that's just fine. A hero has leveled Morrigan, the witch of the wild, shall summon an animal. I do want to give her a lordship, but of course right now that's not really useful, so let us instead get defensive training. Eventually, Laduina Holder will lead her own army, but for now. She's chilling. Rivalry between Kalecgos and Nathaniel Mar. Oh, Kalecgos. Boy, you made a mistake. Because if I have to choose, I'm gonna choose Nathaniel. Kael'thas Translator has proven themselves a worthy friend to me. I hate to break it to you, Arthas. He has not proven a friend to me. I do want this phase cloak, however. Let's see what Nathaniel has. Wow, my relationship has dropped with him like crazy. The Staff of Decay. That is a tier 3 staff, right? Tier 2 staff. I mean, it's better. I'll take the staff. It's better than what Morrigan is currently using. I was insulted. Really? I warn you not to disturb me too much, lest our next meeting take place on the battlefield. Enjoy your victory while it lasts. You will be the next to fall. Are you really about to declare war on me, Garrosh? Do it. I fucking dare you. There you go, Morrigan. I don't have much for you. That's what I have. Oh, nice. I am probably selling all of this. What is this? Armor of the Grove, 10 hit points, blight resistance, blooming life. Nice. Yeah, we're probably selling everybody here. Arcfire. The Cloak of Displacement. Upon sustaining damage, this unit teleports to a random location within 2 hexes. Could be good. My boy. My champion. Alright, we're bringing you back. My champion returns to me. Cryogenesis. This is a modded item. Killing enemies unleashes an icy explosion, dealing 20 frost damage. That's pretty cool. Chance to freeze. You sold me. Because I needed more of those. This uses the model from the Mana Siphoner. Very clever. So I'm going to sell you, and I'm going to sell you. And we are going to equip the Armor of the Grove. Yes, I mean, that makes sense for her, right? And you can have a crown. I guess you can have Cloud in a Bottle. If something comes up to her in melee, I don't want her to... Do I want her to keep this? I guess I do. Death Blast hits deceptively hard. I have been surprised before by its damage. Does Jaina have Magecraft? I think you have leadership stuff going on right now. Yeah. If she had Magecraft stuff going on, I would probably use Arcfire. I might just give it to her anyway. It makes way more sense than this Holy Orb weird thing. And we want to resurrect Jonas, but I kind of want to wait. I don't want to incur too many penalties right now. but I will do it. Jonas will be our next champion. Remember when you could have, like, a whole stack of heroes in, like, the first 15 turns? And you could just power level them in one group, one death ball group? Yeah. Lord Admiral Jaina Proudmoore, your heroine Ladwina Holder kneels before you, distressed. My little brother, he went dowsing for precious stones, yet never returned. He migrated to Borelas when you recruited me. He has been prospecting for precious stones and metals since he was but a wee boy, carrying around an oversized dowsing rod. Recently, a faraway gold vein caught his attention. Normally, my brother returned with a sizable haul within 3 days. Today is the 8th day since he left. Ladwina Holder's eyes turn misty. Will you help me find my brother, Lord Admiral? I worry for his safety. Let me mark the gold vein on your map. Of course I shall aid you, my champion. In fact, you can go do it yourself. Well, Kael'thas, what you doing? What you got there? Smoothie. Ooh. I'm gonna auto this, but I will... I'm gonna auto menu. Jaina deserves a naval force as well, by the way. It is very lore appropriate. There is a mod that overhauls the Navy. I think I talked about this in a previous episode. But, there was some disputes in the review for it because it doesn't just add things to the Navy, it, like, overhauls naval mechanics. And, I mentioned it before, but I'm not too keen on things that, like, overhaul mechanics. I like the base experience of games, but then things that add to them, like the Wondrous item pack. Or the expanded cultural roster. Like, they don't change the mechanics of the culture, they just add more stuff to it. So, that's why I'm not using it. Even though this would have been one of the perfect playthroughs to use it with. In case anyone was curious. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I talked about this already, but I'm just reiterating. For good measure, you know? Some people don't watch every episode, and that's perfectly fine. Some people skip around the timestamps, and that's perfectly fine. Everything here has frost resistance. Which, by the way, I realize my my map settings made this extra difficult. Like, I went, I'm playing a frost character. How can I make this as difficult as humanly possible? And then I chose those settings. So, you know. It is what it is. Because the undead are resistant to frost, and frostling influence makes them resistant to frost. And even immune to freeze, so, like, this could have been, like, way more overpowered. And it's already pretty ridiculous. Like, that was a flawless dub. That right there, flawless. You can stay here, it's fine. Spells are ready to cast. I guess we get siege magic going? Sure. War has begun between Garrosh and Kalecgos. That's fine. Rivalry between Kalecgos and Arthas. Wow. Kalecgos is jelly. Why are you mad at me? Ah, he dislikes empires that start wars, and I did do that, yeah. I'm about to do it again. Sorry. 50 is about to come off. My denouncements are 200, and he's mega threatened by my presence. But that's okay. I don't want to fight Lord Nathaniel Marr, but I will, of course, fight him if I must. I don't want to. I made his faction, like, incredibly annoying to fight. I gave them what is arguably the best traits. If you were trying to do a little bit of a min-maxy battle thing. Which, of course, I know many are. So, oh my... Bro, this must be the tier 4 unit for the High Culture, the Phoenix Keeper. Look at that. That's awesome. Charge Awakening Burst. 2 damage and 2 hex radius. The caster and 2 friendly units gain Awaken for 3 turns and 30 temp hit points. Wow. It's a support charge unit. Interesting. Age of Wonders 3 had a mod similar to this where they gave every faction it was a tier 3, right? A tier 3 support mounted unit, because one of the later races that were added to the game, or I guess classes that were added to the game, had a tier 3 support unit, but not a tier 3 like mounted unit. That was an offensive one. So the mod gave that class an offensive one and every other class a mounted support unit. I don't remember what it was called, but I used it. Ooh, Spoders. See how the auto does? Auto did pretty clean. Damage Janet, but that's fine. The Wand of Inversion. Now that the monsters of the Gold Vein have been slain, the surviving miners come out of hiding. We owe you our lives, foreigner. Foreigner? Their master prospector begins to say, take a look at our treasury. Name any item and it shall be yours. We will leave this perilous place and return to our home. The master prospector wants to thank you with a gift from their guild chest. We can gain 277 gold. We can get the Ring of Deflection. 3 defense, 3 resistance against physical, range, and magic attacks. Not bad. Or a lot of production in Theramore. I'm going to take the production in Theramore because Theramore needs help. Theramore requires aid. I think we're going to try and boost the tier. That makes sense to me. We will also... So if I wait 1 turn, I can get this farm. And that should be good enough for, like, growth and stuff. Growth and quests and stuff. I'm going to bop this. Should be easy. Easy enough. Ooh, another Glitter Grove. Don't mind if I do. Oh, you already have the Visor of Farsight. Okay. I don't think I have ever actually used the Wand of Inversion. Like, I've had it before. I've equipped it before. I don't think I've ever used it. Got my production blows here in my capital city. I kind of want the next wizard tower. There we go. I was like, where are the bolstering matrices and stuff? Here we go. Are we? Wait, do I even use these? I don't think I do. Awkward. Well, we'll think about our life choices. I have to go. Where's my order coming from? Where is my order coming from? I have 4 order with no order tomes. Interesting. Well, we learned in the previous episode, or previous series, that the order matrices is busted. In fact, I'm pretty sure with Artisan Armaments and Astral Blood, if we go... Oh no, Fortune wouldn't stack that way, would it? Oh. Because Fortune now only stacks 3 times. And the order matrix caps it. Interesting. So I guess we wouldn't want the order matrix then, would we? Shadow buff? Is there a shadow buff that's not for undead? I don't think there is. We would get... This is the Shadow Tome we're getting, by the way. Ooh. Okay. This has, provided complications that I was not prepared for. Where is, the Pollen of Glory? Is that a tier 4 thing? It is. I love the accelerated pollen. It's so good. I don't know what to do, team. We're going astral. Is there an astral buff somewhere? Not. Is it just the teleportation thing? Like emergency teleport? The ward thing that I have? This one? Ugh. We're going Archmage, by the way. Spoiler alert. But none of that is... Actually, the last thing there was helpful, wasn't it? I guess I already told you, so... The Tome of the Archmage is the last tome. The last Tier 5 tome that I need to get all the Tier 5 tome achievements. We'll have access to every single one of them after this. Or, you know, have access to them in all the playthrough. But Cosmic Overdrive grants enchanted units, so magic origin and combat summons. 30% damage and very fast movement. So this would affect our snow spirits. I guess Astral Matrix would give them then resistance. It's not great, but it's like the best I'm working with. I don't really want to use Astral Mirror. We used this in the Morrigan playthrough. I want to use Astral Convergence. Because Jaina is all about power. I mean, she's less about it now, but, you know, she's all about it. Did we ever beat Arthas? We did. Wow, okay. We're about to have Vassal and upset good old Nathaniel Marr. I'm sure that won't come back to haunt me. How are we doing here? The Longbowman's in the works. I want more knights. That's another reason we're not going to use the puppies. The phase beasts, because we're just going to... All of our charge units are coming from the knights. And hopefully, eventually, the Banneret Knight. I believe the Feudal Culture is the only one whose modded Tier 4 unit is an evolution. Which, again, would make the Shepherd Tome make sense. Is a reasonable choice for us. Shall I read this text again for the th time? Fuck Blint. I don't even know where he is. He's a distant claim. Fuck you, Blint. Morrigan the Inheritor discovers a thicket of trees made of pure crystal. She finds herself confused by the reflected light around her. Morrigan discovers that the further she explores, the more disorienting and twisty the maze becomes. The forest of crystal and light confuses her sense of direction as she and her army stumble through the maze. They are not sure what is and what is not a path, or merely a reflection, a trick of the light. Blinking in the light, Morrigan realizes this maze would be the ideal place for an ambush. Something approaches. Use your arcane knowledge to twist the effects of the reflective maze to your advantage. The ambushers find their tricks reflected back upon them. Of course. I'm going to fight this manually. Morrigan must establish her dominance. The Witch of the Wilds and the Daughter of the Sea. Oh, that would be infuriating. Reflects 50% of non-physical damage back at the attackers. Holy crap. I would be livid by trying to work with this. Guess it's a good thing I rolled that. You know, sometimes it all comes together. Morgan, don't you have a Healy thingy? Nice. Beautiful. Everyone's full health and happy. Happy and healthy. Now, of course, there's a Mage Bane here. Which, by the way, someone pointed out that there is a way to get a Mage Bane without using the trick that Eratus used. Is it even worth doing this? I don't know. I did it. And that method... Oop. Oh, that's going to explode and heal them. Is to use the Chaos Affinity talent that gives you a mob based on the... whatchamacallit? The infestation, there we go. It gives you a unit based on the infestation that you clear. And I guess if you clear a high-level Astral Rift, you'll get a... you can get a Mage's Bane. Good to know. I, of course, don't really use that Chaos talent, because I typically don't like getting a whole bunch of random units. It's very annoying to me. But, if you wanted to find a way to get one, there you go. After fending off an ambush, Morrigan the Inheritor progresses to the dizzying Crystal Forest. She discovers a wandering minstrel. The minstrel jumps down from his wagon. He is excited to see Morrigan. "Oh, great witch of the wilds, Morrigan the Inheritor, you are a wonder." Don't flirt with my girl. "I am so lost, and the ambush is ruffians everywhere. If you could but guide me through the mirror maze, I will give you a reward from my wagon." Having mastered the maze, this is no problem for Morrigan. After helping him, the minstrel opens his wagon and gestures inside. "Thank you, Morrigan. Pick your reward." So we could gain stability and Theramore. We could ask for money. We could ask for knowledge. About 1 ton of knowledge. Or 152 Imperium. Yes, please. Sing about the glory that is Lady Jaina Proudmoore, our daughter of the sea. As you approach the cave, you smell fresh blood, but find no signs of life. Having entered the cave, you and your companions find the remains of a brutal fight. The carcass of an adult thunderbird lies alongside her offspring. The two of them appear to have been ambushed in what was supposed to be a safe haven. Upon closer inspection, it looks as though the animals were viciously attacked by a wild, caustic worm. You freeze when an ear-piercing shriek resounds through the cave, and the same bloodthirsty caustic worm emerges from the dark, its rabid eyes fixed upon you. Easy. The wild threat has been dealt with, and you have the opportunity to search the cave. You order the bodies of the Thunderbird and her offspring to be removed. As others go to lift the heavy animal, something softly whines from underneath it, and a young Thunderbird emerges, the sole survivor of the pack. It seems as though its mother's body protected it from harm. It looks up to you again and whines. A young Thunderbird has survived the carnage of the Clawmark Cave and clings to you. So we could get a Thunderbird mount. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. We could nurse the Thunderbird's strength and release it to the wild for +5 alignment. Or we could turn it into a Cloak of Flames. Burning immunity, frozen immunity, 4 fire resist, and vengeful flames. When a melee attack hits, the attacker sustains 2 fire damage and has a 30% chance of being inflicted with burning. Jaina would 100% nurse the Thunderbird's strength and release into the wild. I'm pretty sure she did that. Of course, not with the Thunderbird, but with some other creature. A risky butthole. Shall we go to... Let's get full health first. Then we'll go fight it. And I'm going to bop it with Blizzard as well. The Astral Trade Relay is in. We could get Summon Phase Beast. Oh, by the way, I just thought of this. Remember when I mentioned the Tome of the Archmage and this whole Cosmic Overdrive for Magic Origins? This tome provides a buff for Magic Origin. And this buff is pretty nuts. The Arcane Supercharge, and there's Arcane Restoration, which will affect all Magic Origin units. So if we really wanted to go that path, we could. But I kind of don't want this tome. Now that I'm staring at it, like, this makes more sense than Tome of Teleportation. My brain, when I was looking for the Jaina thumbnail, the Jaina that looks like she's grabbing something with her gauntlet, in that cinematic, she mass teleports the leader of the Alliance, the leader of the Morrigan and the leader of the Void Elves and herself out of imminent death. So I was like, oh yeah, teleportation is on the mind. I told you, it's a plot point. And you know, we haven't really used a Tome of teleportation. Where we have used this, I'm pretty sure we have. Anyway, my point, we'll probably pick this up later. Especially for Jaina's army. I'm gonna shuffle. I have 2 scout. You know what? Let's grab Wayfinder just to get rid of it. Just to cycle through real quick. Alright, farm. That will give us double farm for double boosting. Like this tavern, which we're gonna get. Then we'll want the storehouse, probably. I mean, it's a 1-turn library, right? Let's get that. And storehouse, then that's good. I don't have to, you know, queue all that up, but I'm going to. We're getting our tier 2 wizard tower. And our longbowman, which I'm going to boost. I guess you can chill here for now. I just need an astral dew. I still haven't finished this. We have haste berries here. Didn't I find astral dew? We do have... Where are we? We have enough to integrate Fangvale, and I think I'm going to. Unfortunately, under the Tranquility Pool, and not something else. But I think we're going to integrate this. Fangvale is utterly dysfunctional. Fortunately, most of its crooked warrior citizens seize their protests and recognize you as their Lord Admiral. From this day onward, you dictate Fangvale's development. Its crooked warriors merrily produce whatever you request and settle on the provinces you prefer. You may assign one of your heroes as its governor to change the effectiveness of your resource production. Lastly, the city depends on you to defend bountiful Fangvale when pillagers appear. The crooked warriors of Fangvale await nervously the inspection and first command of their new Lord Admiral. What? Oh. Right. Whenever you absorb a city, you get the leader of the city as a unit. Circlet of the Dreamer. Grants allies in 1 hex radius, 20% evasion, and first strike. Wow. That's pretty good. And you have the Evoker's Rooms. Another spellcaster, huh? Well, you can be the Lord of Production, then. And I suppose... Magecrafts... Didn't they buff Lightning Evoker? I think they did. Magecraft, Resistance, Magecraft, Distant Evoker. Arcane Strength. Quick Phase is OP. It's so good. And we could get Mana Unchained. Or Summon Animal. Could get Mana Unchained. Could also just get Summon Animal. Alright, there you go. We need to make you happy. Did the AI never build a tavern? It's like, eh. Why? What, do you have a guild or something? Shipyard. No. Okay. Well, I do think this will be the Seafarers Guild. I don't plan to produce any units from the city, by the way. Just here. And again, no It's fine. Everything's fine. Endurance training for hit points and status resistance. You are healing for 1 turn. Jaina Proud. There's my order. Okay, so we have 1 order. We have 1 order from this, 1 order from our... Are we Devotees of Good? One of our traits, and then we have 2 from Order Adept, I think. Probably want to go Feudal Ruler. They don't have Stand Together. Balm Assistants are pretty good as well. But let's get some murder going, shall we? Hey, Kul Tiras. Oh, which is from the fact that we're feudal, right? Feudal is +1 order, +1 nature. That's right. And we're experienced seafarers and runesmiths. Righty-dighty. I remember. Stolen power. That would have been great earlier. We, of course, have expended all of our Imperium. I was complimented. Nice. A diplomatic approach will assure victory. Will it? I have a Circle of the Dreamer as well. And a Shadow Mare. A teleporting nightmare. I love this mod. Jonas, do you have a Helm of the Warrior? My champion. I haven't forgotten. I will bring you back, Jonas. You do not. You're about to. Jonas, I will give you what you deserve. No. I could... Maybe I could dismiss... I don't actually think I can. What's her face? Giant's Bane. Oh, heavy charge already. Yeah, I don't care. Blood Spitter. I don't really want to. Alright. I was complimented. Of course. City was released as a vassal. Indeed it was. We have moved ahead of Arthas in Solemnia. We're going to remove that stone. Where is Draktu? They're going to take forever to like me, but we will let it go. Time will tell. Would you like a Chaos Eater? A Shield Maiden? Oh yeah, these are from our friends. A Wild Witch? Wait, do I have to get you? Do I have to get you and put you in Morrigan's army? That's pretty neat. This is, of course, from the barbarian culture. Blight Rain. That seems really good. Wait, is this mod an excuse to play barbarians again? I'll take it. I'll take any excuse to play barbarians again. Barbarians are so fun. How to enjoy barbarians. Right click. That's how you enjoy barbarians. That's how you enjoy, how you survive, how you thrive as a barbarian. Yeah, right click. Alrighty, our Phantasm Warriors have done their duty to the Dark Gaunts. Now, unfortunately, these are Tier 1 units. Interestingly, they are our culture, which I didn't realize. That means, of course, that they will benefit from all of our racial transformations, which is quite rare for a summoned unit, if I recall correctly. Which I'm sure I don't. I kind of want to break them apart, though. much you costing me? 10 mana? That's not too bad. How about you guys? 12-2? Not great. What if I disband this one? And then put this guy in. And then disband you. And then you, I don't know, waddle back home or some shit. By back home, I mean the Theramore real quick. Blizzard! And now we fight. Now, the blizzard there, obviously the damage wasn't that important. The important part about that blizzard was the status resistance reduction. And of course, we are fighting on this, so also lucky. Every 2 turns, all defending units can rally and fortune. When I read lucky, my brain had a nightmarish flashback. Briefly. The days of Age of Wonders 3. Where lucky was just a 10% chance to not take damage. Oh, I'm so glad we're beyond that. I'm glad we've moved on. As a people, as a culture, as gamers. Alright. Well. Let's get to work, shall we? I'm kind of surprised I can hit there, to be honest. Bonk. But I'll take it. Is that a spot? I think it is. That was an interesting interaction. I teleported onto this spot, which dealt damage, and hit the gremlins, which triggered them to move, and they moved onto the spot I went to, which kicked my Frost Elemental back here. Interesting. But good news. I can now go in for the kill. I froze the bone daddy. So what we'll do is we will move up, spur you, and I'll fish for the freeze here. Resisted. Alas. Poor Warlock. Good tail swipe. Ooh, your position, your face was not great, but that's fine. Alright, Jaina. I can't believe I got a kill with that. I guess I'm fishing for a freeze. Sure. Ironically, I think I'm going to take more damage if this becomes a skeleton. Or when this becomes a skeleton. Can I kill it? Not quite. But I got rid of the skeletons. Please don't kill my boy. Oh, nice. You went for that one. Okay. This worked out. Because the AI still makes questionable decisions sometimes. There was a survey a while ago, a few weeks ago, about the changes to the AI in the Watcher update. And I left my feedback being basically like, you know, sometimes the AI does things that don't make a whole lot of sense. Like, they're right there, they could have killed one of my Frost Elementals, and they just like went, no. I was like, I don't understand why the AI does this. And to be honest, it would be pretty annoying if the AI like laser focused killed your units, right? Like, that would be kind of annoying. But at the same time, I'm playing on very hard AI. And the Age of Wonders 3 AI get left no mercy. So... there's Garrosh. Not sure entirely what's changed. A skeleton and other undead stare at your troops with fear and hunger in equal measure. Fear, however, soon seems to prevail, rendering your group unwilling to attack. The lifeless beings shuffle around, trying to keep their distance from your army. Will you avoid them and allow them to escape, or will you strike first? Using magic, release their spirits and let these dead finally rest. Jaina would do that. In fact, I'm pretty sure Jaina did do that. Upon arrival at the Gold Vein, it becomes clear that the spawn of a caustic worm hatched a few days ago. The Gold Vein is overrun with the writhing bodies of young caustic worms. Their corrosive mucus oozes into the nearby fissures. The screech of their sire can be heard echoing from deep tunnels from which the young caustic worms hatched. The young caustic worms have been feasting on dire penguins, judging by the partial dissolved remains that litter the area. How could anyone survive this infestation? Is it foolish to believe that Laduina Holder's sibling yet lives? Let us attack. A flawless dub, basically. Your troops search the area and tunnels. When they pass a creek beneath the central gold vein, someone whispers, "Are they gone?" A bannerman crawls out of hiding spot. I knew someone would come looking for me, eventually. I hid down there for days, I think, eating larvae and slimy moss to survive. The boy chuckles and produces a satchel. But it was worth it. The tunnels surrounding this gold vein are teeming with rubies. The bannerman sighs gratefully. For rescuing me, please accept the treasure I discovered. My skills are at the service of Lord Admiral Jaina Proudmoore. Thank you for the money. So Borlass can get some production. We can get some knowledge. I don't want a bannerman. Or alignment. Let's get some good boy points. I require no reward. I am happy that you are safe. I'm not, but I'm happy that my hero is happy that you're safe. You know? Next tome. Now, I talked about the Tome of Summoning and why this would actually be a pretty good pickup for us. You could also argue either Terramancy or Transmutation. I think Morrigan would be more Transmutation, although she doesn't exemplify or even use either of these powers, really. Instead, as mentioned, we're going for the Tome of the Cold Dark.
Light brings both warmth and hope. Snuff it out, and you plunge your foes into cold, everlasting night. Rob them of comfort, shatter their hope, leave them with numb limbs and blinded eyes. Darkness will sap your enemy's will to fight, to win, to live.
Yep, that sounds right. Now, I actually want all of this. I don't need the Summon Soul Spirit right now, because, of course, we have the 4 in Jaina's army, and that's good enough for me right now. But we want Frostling Transformation. It will be tremendously helpful against the other Frostling influences on this map. And Flash Freeze is just exceptionally powerful. So we're going to lock the Flash Freeze and we'll grab the transformation. Someone also pointed out, kind of correctly, that I talked about not wanting the Tome of the Banshee Tome. The name eludes me. Tome of the Doom Herald. But they pointed out correctly that in like the books for WoW, for World of Warcraft, the Warcraft books often describe ice as something that is ice magic as something that is incredibly demoralizing and like saps the will to live from people who are under extreme magic duress, ice magic duress. So it actually would have been appropriate to pick it up, or at least you could have argued it. You are going this way. We're going to get Fangvale to grab the Tower of Torments, and we're going to have to be careful, I think. Garrosh is, looking spicy. I wonder if I can bug it out. I call it a bug, but if if I always have if I always have more war justification than the AI, they will probably never declare on me until the end. Some would consider your course of action deeply unwise, Jaina, especially if you want to avoid vexing me. Kalecgos has a personal dislike for your actions of empires with a stronger economy. Oh, I'm sorry, Kalecgos. Do you not like the fact that I am thriving? That I am a strong, independent woman who don't need no man? You mad about that? You became the race keeper of the Crooked Warriors. Great. It means I can now use race transformations on them. I typically don't do that. But, you know, if I wanted to, I could. If we desired some goblin barbarians. But you know, now that I've said that out loud, now that I've said this out loud, maybe I do. Oh, yeah, we can recruit demons here as well. So, what are the bonus units here? Oh, they have a spear bearer. Wow. Look at that. The mod gave barbarian spears. Good. Chief Disney Twin Flame Spear of the Free City Umbor greets you with flashing eyes, a big grin, and a proud stance. Strength and blood. Glory to you, Jaina Proudmoore. We brutal little ones of Umbor welcome you to these lands of strife. We look forward to seeing your strength on the battlefield, be it alongside you or against you. Where are you? And how did I find you? Oh. Is Nathaniel diggying? I'm so proud of you, Nathaniel. I'm so proud of you. This is going on. But I'm so proud of you. The AI is diggying. Wunderbar. You do your thing. I'm probably going to have to get rid of... I need that, don't I? I think we're going to be in a position to challenge Garrosh. Probably should put the outpost here. Boom. I was going to check underground and see if I should put it there, but I'll just put it here and get this mana node. That's fine. It's fine by me. And as for you, we can put this here. Of course, you're doing that last turn. Is what it is. And I guess we're going to go check out what Kragmar's up to. Because they're hostile to me, and I don't like that. Theramore has produced a library. We can read in Theramore now. Arthas has crossed Garrosh. Did you get shorter? Or are you just being weird with your spawnkins? Ah, my YOLO scouts. I'm proud of you. I want this tower. You don't think Garrosh is going to do this tower, do you? There's no way. Anyway, back to what I was doing. The Spear Bearer. Cool, cool. The Raider. We saw this earlier. Because we were able to get one. The Wild Witch. We saw this earlier as well. Added to the roster. And the Shield Maiden. Which is a tier 3 shielded unit. You have greater shield bash. Base percent of target unit being stunned. Is that a 100% chance to stun? That is amazing. Incredible. Marvelous. And your optional cav. Wow, holy crap. Not bad. Not bad at all. And you have heavy shield? Wait, what's that? +1/+1. Cool. So yeah, the tier 1 warriors, these guys, They have shield bash, and these guys are actually pretty relevant even in the late game. Of course, as you keep buffing your race with transmutations and enchantments, you make any unit kind of relevant. But the warriors can still do good damage because of Primal Strike, and their shield bash makes them relevant through the whole game. And now you just have a better version of it in the Shield Maiden. It's pretty cool. I like it. I wonder if this is supposed to be base 90% chance as well, and the greater bit is just the fact that it does damage. Hard to say. Hard to say. I'm going to amplify the minds of Theramore. Where are we? I would amplify the minds of the other city, but it's about to rebel, so let's not do that right now. Give that storehouse. I'll grab the bathhouse as well. We are almost to the point of getting the astral trade relays up, but not quite yet. And I want more knights. I also would like a freaking Chrono Gates. Probably right here. The Chrono Gates. Right here would be a good spot. Would be a pretty good spot, yeah. We'll see. I want these haste berries. So I can annex either of these and then just grab over. Hop over. A hop and a skip. This will be our final turn for today. We're going to need... oh, dear. I need a lot of things. I need expanded governance. I need to get another city. And the question is... I could just take Kragmar. I could do that. As a wizard king. King? I was going to say queen, and I saw a kin, and I was like, king. As a wizard king, you have seen the astral void, and memories of it haunt you. Even now you find your mind drifting back. You are haunted by lonesome centuries spent floating in the vast nothingness of the void, where monstrous voices from your past twisted and distorted your deepest convictions. You saw visions of a grim future riddled by loss and insanity. More than once you felt your soul dissolve into the endless void. In the darkness you had but one thing to hold on to. A piece of who you were before. What memory preserved your sanity? Ironically, this happened to Jaina. Not quite as extreme as this, but when Jaina returned to Kul Tiras, she was kind of seen as an outcast because she directly/indirectly led to her father's death, the previous Lord Admiral. And so she was exiled. She was going to be executed, right? And then she, somehow got to the Forbidden Lands and was, lost and tormented in the shadows of the Undying Lands. But anyway, I probably am just taking the Imperium. Gotta be honest, I wouldn't mind the boon. But I founded empires that impressed wizards and kings. Jaina did not do such a thing. But our Lord Admiral certainly shall. Ooh, this is going to be tough. What are these? Sharpshooter. Tier 3 crossbows for the industrious culture. Alright. Not bad. I should have kept the other guys with you. But that's fine. I didn't. We can get an army of magical origin units. Oh, I want this. I want Philosopher Soldiers. The sooner we get that, the better. Okay, hold on. Let me think. 45. That'll be 2 turns. It's only a tier 1 city, so it shouldn't take much to absorb. we'll get... Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll grab Expanded Governance to increase our city cap. Then we'll save our Imperium to take Kragmar. This is an industrious culture. I'll just absorb this. It's fine. And then... yeah, it'll be good. Although I am curious. I'm going to absorb it. But I don't think I'll get... I won't get the hero. That's right. I won't get the hero. Good. That only happens if you integrate. I'm not integrating. I'm absorbing. You could call it an aggressive absorption. I want you. Ah, it's Blinty boy. Okay. I spy with my little eyes a Blinty boy. Ho 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 ho. Hi, Garrosh. How you doing, bud? You, doing okay? Having fun? Yeah. I'm gonna put an outpost here and eat that. What's I'm gonna do? Where's my other outpost? Didn't I build another one? Over here? No. Over here? Yeah. Cool. Unfortunately, I probably have to break this later so I can absorb this into the city where it actually does something. What was I gonna do? We're gonna go this way. Oh, I didn't clear that. It's fine. Hail. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm currently not at war with anybody, but I have a feeling that's going to change in the intermediate future. By the way, this army can join her. She can lead it. I don't know what path you're going to take to get over there, but good luck. Outpost founded, Rainbow Clover added. Still not the one that I need, but we are coming to the Hasteberries. Oh, there's one right here. Nice. We'll get that next episode then. Right at the start of next episode, add that. Let us put these in our pockets. In our pockets. Yes, we have more development skills, but that's fine. Nathaniel Marr has crossed you. Good. Rivalry between Kael'thas and Nathaniel Marr. Oh boy. I have a feeling we'll be fighting Kael'thas. We are about to vassalize a contested city. Which one? Was it Solemnia? This one. Well, I'm sorry, Arthas. I'm not that sorry, but I'm a little sorry. These guys do not like me. Yeah, it's what happens when you force vassalize, right? We'll get the right going and everything will be better. Everything will be forgiven. We'll all move on with our lives. Speaking of, you trust me. Do an alliance for 2 hundo. You know what? Let us build the alliance. We shall be in alliance with Arthas and with Nathaniel Marr. If the alliance breaks, I'm going to fight him. If it stands the test of time, then so be it. This shall be our allies. Everyone else is on the chopping block. And that is where we'll call it for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you to the patrons and the channel members who support the channel. I greatly appreciate you. If you'd like to stay updated in the Happy Channel, feel free to join the Discord description down below. And I will see you next time as Lady Jaina Proudmoore resurrects her first champion Jonas the Strong and continues to expand the might of Kul Tiras. Bye.